like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light, like the cool blue light, like the cool blue.
Okay, we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Nice little 6-game Thursday slate we're going to break down. Excited to talk through this slate with you guys, answer any questions you got over the next hour or so. We have gotten some news during the day. Nothing crazy, but Porzingis most likely is going to be out again. He is listed as doubtful. So there are definitely guys we will talk about on Dallas. Some of the guys we've been playing recently I think are in play once again. Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway. The big question from Dallas, though, is what do we do with the big men, with the centers? Because Powell's been starting recently. He started their last 2 games, and he's super cheap again. I mean, all these guys. Willie Cauley-Stein's $3,300. Powell's minimum salary. Boban's minimum salary. Powell's been the starter the last 2 games. Played 27 minutes their first game, and then last game he only played 11 minutes. So I have no idea what they do with his minutes today. If he starts, I think he's a good value, but he could play anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. I really don't know. Willie Cauley-Stein, he got the most minutes out of all the centers last game, 24. Wasn't very productive, but he's super, super cheap. And then we got Boban, who actually cracked the rotation last game and played 13 minutes. We know Boban is a point-per-minute guy, a fantasy monster when he does get minutes. I don't know what they do here. It's a matchup against Joel Embiid, so you would think that, Dwight Powell, I feel like, doesn't stand a chance against Joel Embiid. I feel like Willie Cauley-Stein is probably going to get eaten alive. Boban, Boban's not a good defender either. He's slow. He's probably going to get torched by Embiid, but, Boban's the biggest guy they have that they can throw on Embiid. So, I think if you get this right, these Mavericks, one of these Mavericks centers, I think is going to have a good game. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I think one of them is going to do well for their price tag. Good luck guessing which one it's going to be. I think whichever one starts, that's going to be my favorite between Willie Cauley-Stein, Dwight Powell, Boban. But then you got, Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway, Jalen Brunson. I think those guys benefit without Porzingis, and they're in play. Maxi Kleber as well. He's expected back for this game. He's super cheap. I'm totally fine going to him as a value. So there's definitely stuff to like from Dallas. None of these guys are great value plays, but I think they're all, people we can consider. Noah, my guy, hey, what's up, Galvin? What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Do you like Ross or MPJ more overall? If I had to choose one, I'd probably take Terrence Ross. I wish Terrence Ross was cheaper, but yeah, I'd probably take him if I had to choose one. No center stands a chance against Embiid, who'll have a monster game. I feel you there. Especially these 3 guys. These 3 guys have no chance stopping Embiid. Willie Cauley-Stein's a terrible defender. Dwight Powell, he's super undersized compared to Embiid. And Boban, Boban's big, but he's super slow, and he's got no chance against Embiid. But I think there's some fantasy value from the Dallas big men if you can, guess which one plays the most minutes. And if it winds up being Boban, if Boban plays 25 minutes tonight, I don't think that's going to happen. But if he does, he could smash. Even if Boban gets 20 minutes, he's going to probably put up 30, 35 DK points. Part of me just wants to say, I don't know if I can play Boban in my one lineup. Part of me wants to say just play Boban and hope he gets the minutes. Because if he does, he should be able to pay off his price tag for sure. What's your favorite pick for util under 5,100? It'd probably be one of those Dallas guys. So probably Tim Hardaway or Josh Richardson, or you could go to Monte Morris. I think my favorite there would be between Monte Morris or Tim Hardaway. I think I'd probably go with Tim Hardaway. I just think without Porzingis, Tim Hardaway he's just gonna get a bump in usage. He's always been a guy that does benefit without Porzingis off the floor. I played him a lot last year whenever Porzingis would miss games. He hasn't been as good this season. His price is way down because he hasn't been playing that well this year. He hasn't been scoring much, but we've seen Tim Hardaway can still pop off at times, and he did have a really good game the first game that Porzingis missed. Last game, he was on pace to do well, but he got limited because of foul trouble. What's up, Noah? Top 3 value picks on Yahoo, $10 and $11. Maxi Kleber, he's $10. I really like him. I think if you want to take a shot on one of the Dallas bigs, Boban, Willie Cauley-Stein, Powell, whichever one starts, you could go to. Monte Morris is still cheap. He's $11 on Yahoo, so those are a couple guys I like, that cheap. I'll play Robin Lopez over all those Dallas bigs. I mean, yeah, Robin Lopez, he's another guy you could kind of, he's one of those guys you don't know what his minutes are going to look like, but last time they played Denver, it was Robin Lopez who got most of the minutes. Wagner started, but Wagner played like 3 minutes and then didn't play the rest of the game. So yeah, Lopez, if he gets like 25, 28 minutes, I mean, he could be really good for his salary as well. Let's get this money, man. I need it. Hey, let's try and get it, man. Let's try and get it. That's the goal here. We're just trying to make money. I'm going to try and fit in Jokic and Giannis. I mean, yeah, you could do that. I don't know if I'm prioritizing Jokic on this slate. Definitely want to try and get Giannis in. I think Giannis is my favorite stud. And then it comes down to like Harden or Luka, I think, for my second favorite stud. I think right now I lean Harden, but it's close between those two. Obviously, Jokic is a good play, though. I mean, Jokic should do really well against Washington. It's just that, there are some other centers I like on this slate. Revenge game for Richardson and Curry? I mean, yeah, I guess it is. I guess you could play Richardson because of that. I think Richardson's in play just because, Porzingis is out. But, if you want to factor in the revenge game, go ahead. And PJ, Lou Will, or Lonzo. Give me Lonzo there. Top 3 studs. For me, it's Giannis, Harden, and Luka. I think those are the 3 guys I like most. 10K and above. Steven Adams and Jamal Murray, or Valanciunas and Lonzo. Give me the first one. Give me Steven Adams and Jamal Murray. Thanks for the videos. I appreciate you watching, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Or woman, I can't tell. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I think Luke will have a bad game tonight being guarded by Simmons. I mean, yeah, Simmons has been really good defensively this year. Luka's one of these players, I don't really care who's guarding him. Like, Luka's just so good. Like, they can double team him and Luka will still find a way to, get assists or get, he'll get there. But yeah, it's not a great matchup because Simmons, is really good defensively. I don't think he's going to have a bad game, but he could definitely be, inefficient just because, they're going to be locked on him. Any interest in Steven Adams? Yeah, I think Steven Adams is too cheap. His first game back from injury last game, I think he played over 30 minutes or close to it. Steven Adams is not someone I've really played much this season, but when he's getting 30, 32 minutes, I mean, he can easily pay off 50, 100. And last time they played Milwaukee, I know, this may not really matter, but he did play 38 minutes last time they played Milwaukee. Had 31 DK points. He had 20 rebounds in that game. It was a weird game. He had 4 points, 20 rebounds, 2 assists, and that was his line. So yeah, I do like Steven Adams. I think, he's one of the cheaper centers I'm kind of looking to. Him and Rashawn Holmes, I think, are my favorite centers right now. And if you want to take a shot on one of the Dallas guys, you could. Would you play both Quickly and Rose? I think you can. If Quickly starts, I do really like Quickly. I think Rose is in play, whether he starts or comes off the bench. I said this last night. Quickly, I'd be a bit hesitant on Quickly if he comes off the bench just because I don't know what his minutes are going to look like coming off the bench. But Rose, I feel confident, gets at least like 22, 24 minutes, whether he starts or comes off the bench. So if Quickly starts, yes, I could definitely see playing Quickly and Rose together. If Rose starts, you could still do it, but I don't know what kind of minutes Quickly is going to get if he comes off the bench. You thinking Quickly or DJ Augustine? Definitely give me Quickly. Is Maxey going to get minutes? I mean, last game he was on pace to play like 35 minutes, but I'm pretty sure he got hurt like right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. He had already played like 27 minutes, so he was on pace to play, pretty big minutes. So I do like Maxey Kleber. I think he's going to get, over 30 minutes. Scored my highest yesterday with a 330 thanks to you. Unfortunately, a cash game, not a tourney. Oh, Justin, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, man, you got to, no matter, whatever, how many lineups you're playing, always play every lineup in a tournament. It doesn't have to be anything high stakes. Just throw your lineup in a tournament. Give it a chance to take down something. That's just the worst feeling when you just play like a lineup in a double up or something and it does really, really well. I mean, that's just such a bad feeling. Even if it's like a quarter arcade or something, just throw it in something. Do you like Bruce Brown? I think Bruce Brown's definitely in play. I don't know if we need to be expecting, these 35, 40-point games like he's been putting up, but he's getting pretty good minutes. I think he plays like 28, 30 minutes tonight, and he's still somewhat cheap. There's other values I prefer. Like I prefer Tim Hardaway over Bruce Brown now, but yeah, Bruce Brown's definitely in play. Is Kawhi going to feast tonight? Seems like a favorable matchup. I mean, Kawhi could go off any night. I just don't know if this is a slate where I'm playing Kawhi. Like, there's so many other studs I like today over the Clippers guys. Completely fading the Dallas big men after last game. I mean, yeah, last game it was just, I think, so Willie Cauley-Stein played 24 minutes, Boban played 13, and Dwight Powell played 11. I mean, they could do that again tonight. Like, they could just, split them 3 ways. I think if there's a chance that one of them plays like 25 minutes though, then yeah, whichever guy gets the good minutes, I think is probably going to pay off their price. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they change up the starting lineup tonight and maybe start Willie Cauley-Stein, or maybe they start Boban. If Boban starts, I think he's the best value play on the slate, and it won't even be close. Just getting into DFS, playing it every day. How do you know if a player hits value of price? I mean, normally I look for at least like 6x. When it's really expensive guys, when it's guys that are like 10K or above, you don't need 6x for them to be good. But I think, anybody who's like 4K, 5K, I'm looking for 6x value. So if a guy's 4K, multiply that by 6, I'm looking for 24 points at least. If they're 5K, you multiply that by that 6, I'm looking for at least 30 points from them. Thanks again for the advice. Missed having you here yesterday. Didn't profit as well, but the previous week it's been great. And thanks again. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, D-Roll. Yeah, I was playing golf yesterday, and I wasn't sure what time I was going to get back. I didn't get back till like 5 o'clock, so I figured it was too late to do a stream. PJ Tucker has 0 points on 0 from 9 shooting in his last 84 minutes played. That doesn't surprise me. Kyrie or Harden? Give me Harden. If you can find the salary, I prefer Harden. What's up, Noah? Thanks for all the help. Great night last night. If Cat could have stayed in the game, had a chance at full takedowns, Boban or Aminu, I'd rather take a shot on Boban. And yeah, I feel you there, David. That was just super annoying. The Wolves game goes to overtime, and of course Cat fouls out, so he doesn't get to play in overtime. So annoying. Smash the like button. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. I appreciate all you being here as always. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you. How's your week going in DFS so far? Been a pretty down week, man. Yeah, it hasn't been great for me. I've been able to pull out some profits recently, but yeah, it's not been a great week just over the last couple weeks for me. But I keep grinding, man. I play basically every day. Maybe I need to start taking a day off or two, when I'm getting in a slump. But I enjoy it so much. I play every day. How'd you do yesterday in golf? I didn't do that bad. I shot pretty bad on the front nine. Normally, I always shoot terrible at the beginning, and then I start playing a little bit better. If I can shoot like in the 80s, it's a pretty good day for me. And I think I shot like a 92 yesterday. I can't remember. There'll be days where it's so bad I just quit keeping my score. You left us for golf? I mean, man, I love playing golf. I can't help it. And we got out there like 1 o'clock. I go on Wednesdays, I play with my dad because my dad gets off work early on Wednesdays, and we always play. And whenever I go play with him, he takes forever. So we'll be out there for like 4 hours. But when I play by myself, I can get done at like 2 hours, or I can get done in like 2 or 3 hours. I thought I'd be back in time to stream, but I wasn't. Let's get it tonight, my man. Hey, let's get it, Trevor. Let's get it, man. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Noah? What's up, Mr. Baseballer? What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Jokic or Embiid? I mean, I think I'm going to prefer Jokic, but it's close now. Now that Porzingis is out, I do expect Embiid just to have his way in this matchup. But it's also a great spot for Jokic, too. I mean, nobody on the Wizards is going to stop Jokic. I think I do prefer Jokic if I can get to him, but both are in play. Play James Johnson? I don't think, now that Maxi Kleber's playing, I don't think I'm going to go to James Johnson. I mean, last time Maxi played, James Johnson he didn't even play. So he could legit not even play tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised. Why don't you play Embiid, but like Harden and Giannis better, so play Holmes and Adams instead of Embiid? I mean, I think that's totally fine, Mark. Those are kind of the two centers I'm looking to, Holmes and Adams, because I don't think I'm going to get Embiid. I think I'm definitely trying to build around Giannis, and then if I can get Harden or if I can get, another stud, I'll try and do that. But yeah, in my one lineup tonight, I don't think I'm going to get to Embiid. You play single entry, one tournament lineup. I've been just playing one lineup recently, Tom, and just playing it in a bunch of stuff. Single entry tournaments, head-to-heads, double loves, just playing in everything. Go golfing every chance you can, bro. Still freaking 30 degrees here in Nebraska. Yeah, last week, the weather was terrible here. It was raining like all of last week, and this week it's been so freaking hot. It's felt so good out there. It's like sunny and 70. I had to go play some this week. Do you find the double ups more profitable than regular tourneys? I mean, the cash line in double ups is always going to be a little bit lower just because more people cash. You know, in a tournament, normally it's like 20 to 25% of the field gets paid, whereas double ups, it's like 40%. So the cash line is always going to be lower in double ups. You need to know, you know, in cash games and double ups, you need to understand what the proper roster construction is. You need to understand how to build an optimal cash lineup. If you're building like a tournament lineup and putting it in a cash game, I mean, you're not going to have much success. Something I always look at when I play in my double ups and stuff, I look at the pro players and I compare my lineups to theirs. And if we're on similar lineups, I feel like, I'm doing a pretty good job. I know what I'm doing. I've been playing golf since I was little. Love golf, buddy. What clubs you play? I got Titleist MB combos last year. Love them in a sim driver. Honestly, David, I really don't know. Like, I'm not that good. Like, the clubs I have are hand-me-downs. They were my grandpa's old clubs. It says they're Callaway. The irons I have are like Callaway Big Berthas. It's an iron set. I know the Big Bertha is like a driver, but my Callaways, they say Big Bertha. Or my Callaway irons. And then I have like a Nike driver. I mean, none of the clubs I paid for. My grandpa just gave them to me. They were his old ones. What's your projection for Campazzo? I'm feeling he might be the backup that feasts on that defense. I mean, Campazzo's been getting minutes recently. I think he probably plays like 26, 28 minutes off the bench. There's probably other values I'd rather get to over him, like Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway. Hell, I'd rather play Monte Morris. But, I mean, Campazzo's fine. I don't mind him. First time checking out the stream. Been watching the videos for a while. Thanks for all the content. Hey, I appreciate that, Dalton. Appreciate you being here, man. Would you be comfortable playing quickly if he doesn't start? I don't think I'm going to go to him if he doesn't start. I would still have him in my player pool if I'm playing a lot of lineups, but if I'm, just playing one lineup tonight, I don't think I'm going to get to quickly in my one lineup if he's not starting. Now, if he does start, I think he's a really good value. Bledsoe or DiVincenzo? Give me Bledsoe between those two. What do you look at pros lineups? I mean, you can just go through the standings and just scroll until you find them. Or you can download the contest CSV, put it in Excel, and you can, search up their lineups. You need new clubs. Noah Berthers are 20 years old. I mean, yeah, they might be. I mean, they do the job. Like, I don't take it seriously enough to where I'd go spend a ton of money on golf clubs. Mark Bray with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Mark. He says, thanks, Noah. Played one lineup in single entries, 6 GPP, and 4 cash. Played them in all. Hey, well, I'm guessing you won then, Mark. So I appreciate that, Mark. Appreciate the super chat, man. Thanks again. What course you play? I played a Saluda Valley. It was busy as hell. I remember previous stream, we lived pretty close. There's a bunch of courses where I live. I kind of play all of them. I mean, in the area that I live in, there's like 5 or 6 courses, and I played like all of them. I normally play the one that's just closest to where I live. That's the one I play the most often. When do your lineups, do you leave the guard forward and util open to wait and see if someone doesn't play? I mean, I want to say I leave them open, but you always want to have the players. Once you build out your lineup, you want to switch everything around to where the players starting at the latest time, you put them in the guard forward and util spots. So that way, if something does happen and you need to make changes, you have maximum, flexibility. My dog is under my feet and he's like chewing on my foot. You need to stop. Quit. You like Murray tonight for Denver? I do. I think Jamal Murray, the upside that he has, like right now, I mean, him and Jokic just their upside is just through the roof right now. They're dominating the usage. Both of them could put up huge games like any night. And against this Washington team, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a 50-point game from Murray and a 60-point game from Jokic tonight. I think last time they played Washington, that's what you got. I think Murray put up like 60 and Jokic put up almost 60. Why is everyone playing MPJ so hard? He's so shot dependent. I mean, I wouldn't say he's shot dependent. Like, MPJ can rebound and he can get defensive stats. He can be a guy that's frustrating to roster, but he does have plenty of upside. And he got like 40 minutes last game, which is, great to see. Monte Morris or Barton? I think I'm going to prefer Monte Morris, especially if he starts again. I think I'd go with Monte Morris. You know anything about Bryn Forbes? Got him in a lineup for a low price. I mean, yeah, he was someone that was, appealing whenever he was starting. Now that he's coming off the bench, I don't know if I really am interested in Bryn Forbes anymore. Murray put up 61 last time. Yeah, that's what I thought. He had a huge game against the Wizards. And then I think, or it was like the game after that or the game before that, he had like 50 real points against the Cavs. Like Murray's just been playing so well recently. Zion or Jamal Murray? I think I prefer Jamal Murray. Yeah, I think I prefer Murray there. I think Murray just gives you more upside. Zion might be safer. Like Zion's floor is just so high. But I think if there's anybody that can give you like a 60 burger, it would be Murray between those two. MPJ rebounds when he wants to. If his shot's falling, he's so moody, just my opinion. I mean, yeah, I feel you there. He like last season, MPJ showed a plenty of upside. Like he would have games where he'd just go out there and get hot, and he'd have like 25 and 10. He's been off though this year, that's for sure. Maybe after last game though, maybe he'll get things going. He did play 40 minutes, which was great to see. Because normally Mike Malone hates MPJ, and he'll bench him any chance he can. Value looks pretty thin tonight. Anything sticking out to you? I mean, I really like whichever one of Derrick Rose or Emmanuel Quickly starts. I think they're a really good value. If you want to go to one of the Dallas bigs, whether it's Dwight Powell or Willie Cauley-Stein or whoever, I think whichever one of them starts, they're in play for value. I like Tim Hardaway. I like Josh Richardson. I think they both benefit without Porzingis. Maxi Kleber is still cheap, and he should get more minutes without Porzingis. So, yeah, those are some values I'm looking to. What's good, Noah? Can we see your lineup from last night? Yeah, I can show you real quick, or I can pull it up on my phone. If I can find my phone, it's in my pocket. On DK, I played Jason Tatum last night, so that didn't work out. But I did cash on Yahoo. So my DK lineup last night finished with 257.75, which wasn't great. Did not cash in anything. I had Dejounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, Jason Tatum, Trey Lyles, Cat, Saban Lee, Josh Jackson, and DeAndre Ayton. That was my DK lineup last night. And then on Yahoo, much better night on Yahoo. I was able to profit there. Was able to get my money back. So let's see. I'll just pull up this contest. Had 317.1 on Yahoo. A lot of the same guys. Basically, the only difference in my Yahoo lineup, I had Jared Allen and Domantas Sabonis. Whereas on Draftkings, I had Jason Tatum and DeAndre Ayton. But all other guys were the same. Murray, Walker, Lee, Jackson, Lyles, and Cat. Really, if you played Jason Tatum last night, I mean, I don't want to say you lost, but you probably lost. Or you probably didn't have a great night. Luckily, I didn't play Tatum on both sites, though. Just played him on DK. I was looking at some lineups with Tatum on Yahoo that I liked, but didn't get to him. Embiid or Vooch, that's super close for me. I think it's a great spot for Vooch as well against Brooklyn. Like he smashed against Brooklyn earlier this year. I think now that Porzingis is out, I probably am going to prefer Embiid, but it's definitely close. I think I have interest in both. I think both are going to be lower owned compared to some of the other studs, so those are guys you could definitely look to in tournaments. What's good, Noah? Any trolls today? Not so far, Jack. We're good so far. You think Embiid is too cheap? I don't want to say he's too cheap, but I think he has plenty of upside tonight. Obviously, without Porzingis, I mean, Dallas has no chance at stopping him. And if the game stays close, I mean, Embiid is probably going to go off, I would assume. Even if it blows out, like there's a chance that Embiid is one of the reasons why. I don't want to say he's too cheap, though. It's not like he projects for like 60 or something. I don't think he would. Hardaway or Richardson? I think I prefer Hardaway. I think he just gives you more upside. I think his usage is a little bit higher as well. He's more of a... He's a guy that will go out there and take like 20 shots, whereas Richardson is not, he's not as aggressive, I would say. I think both are in play, but I'd probably go with Hardaway if I had to choose one. Basically had the same lineup as you, played on Yahoo. Yeah, there's a couple people that had the same lineup as me. A lot of the guys in my Patreon Discord, they landed on the same lineup as me too. Last night on Yahoo, or even on DK too, like there was a couple clear builds. Like there was so much chalk last night with the Spurs guys. Like there were a couple lineups that were just pretty obvious to build out. They were very chalky. They were duplicated, and my lineup on Yahoo was duplicated by a couple guys. Played Tatum and scored 284. Damn, I feel for you, man. I mean that Tatum performance last night was literally like he'll never have that bad of a game again, I would say. Like, unless Tatum gets hurt in a game, like he probably won't score less than 20 fantasy points all season. Harden or Doncic for only one lineup. Yeah, I mean, that's super, super close. I think I think they both project so closely. Like if you look at any projection site, they're going to have Harden and Luka projected for close to the same. I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with Harden if I had to play one. But it's so close. I think I probably still prefer Giannis over Harden and Luka. But yeah, for second favorite stud, it'd be one of those two guys. You considering anyone under 4K on DK? I mean, yeah, there's some guys under 4K. I don't say there's any like standout value plays under 4K, but you have the Dallas bigs. Whichever one starts between Willie Cauley-Stein, Boban, Dwight Powell. I think one of those three guys is in play. I have no idea what they're going to do with the minutes. Last game, Powell started, but he only played 11 minutes. He could start again and play 11 minutes again. Like, I don't really know. I think one of those Dallas bigs is going to have a good game for their salary. Good luck picking which one it's going to be, but I think they are in play. Because there's a lot of minutes to go around, and they have to play a big. It's not like they can go small against Embiid. That's just not going to work. So you could look to those guys. You could take a shot on Robin Lopez. He played almost 30 minutes last time they faced Denver. Wagner barely played. I think Wagner probably is going to get benched again. Like, he doesn't stand a chance guarding Embiid. So it could be those guys you could look to for value under 4K. I don't want to say I'm confident in anyone down here, but those are some guys I would look to that are at least viable. But if you can find like $100, I mean, if Quickly starts, Quickly's probably my favorite value that cheap. He's $4,100. He's going to be a top value play if he's starting. Is Brunson, Rose, MPJ, Giannis, Embiid, Campazzo, Barrett, Kleber okay for 50-50s and couple GPPs or rework? I mean, it's so early to tell like what the optimal cash game construction is right now. Like if Quickly starts, I'm going to want Quickly in cash over Rose. I mean, I think you could play both. I don't know if I'd want to play Campazzo in cash either. I mean, in cash games, they're just an optimal build that you should be on. And if you're not close to that optimal build, in the long run, you're probably going to be a pretty losing cash player. And it's so hard to tell what the optimal cash construction is, 3 hours before lock. We still got to wait on, some news. So just keep an eye on that. If Quickly starts, I'd swap to Quickly over Rose. I probably would upgrade from Campazzo or something because I don't really like Campazzo that much at his salary. Could it work with both Ingram and Zion, or would just one be better? I mean, I think you can play both. If you're doing that though, then you probably want to have like somebody on Milwaukee, so you probably want to have Giannis or Chris Middleton. But you could play both for sure. I mean, it's such a high-scoring game. The total is super high in this game that you could definitely see big games from both those guys, 100%. I mean, there's expected to be 240 points scored in that late night game. Thoughts on Danny Green for 4.2K? I mean, I never liked Danny Green. And on this slate, I think there's just other guys I'd rather go to, especially, those Dallas guys. Give me them over Danny Green. I think Boban will get the minutes. He brought a lot of energy into their last game. I mean, yeah, Boban's never going to play a ton, but he doesn't have to. He's so productive that, for DFS, all he needs is like 15 minutes and he can score 25, 30 points. So, yeah, if you tell me we're getting like 15 to 20 minutes from Boban, I'd probably play him. I just don't know if that happens. If he starts, though, I feel confident that he gets at least like 15 minutes if he's starting. So I definitely am going to play Boban if he starts. And we've seen them start Boban before, so I don't think it's out of the question they do it tonight. Augustine or Forbes? Since Augustine's still the starter, I'd rather go with Augustine. I'm not really a big fan of either one, but I'd probably take Augustine if I had to pick one. James Johnson, a good value. Now that Maxi Kleber's back, I'm not really looking at James Johnson. Obviously, James Johnson started last game because Kleber was out, but with Kleber back, I mean, James Johnson, he could not play. Like, last time Kleber played, their game on, I can't remember, I think it was Monday when Kleber was out, or when Kleber played that game, Johnson wasn't even in the rotation. So I'm not going to Johnson now that Kleber's back. Who do you think is the best chalk to fade for GBP tonight and best contrarian play? I mean, it's so early to tell like what the chalk's going to be. I don't know who's going to be insanely popular tonight. I think, I don't know. I don't have access to ownership projections, so I don't know who's projected to be highly owned tonight. But like, if Quickly's going to be high owned coming off the bench, that's chalk I'd be fine getting away from. So that's probably a fade for me. If Quickly comes off the bench, I'd be okay fading him in tournaments. And then favorite contrarian play, I mean, I think there's a lot of guys that are going to be low owned that have upside. I think Vooch has massive upside against Brooklyn, and I don't think he's going to be that popular. So definitely think Vooch is a good contrarian play. Quickly, Richardson, Brown, Zion, Embiid, Luka, Kleber, Boban. I mean, yeah, if Quickly starting and if Boban's starting, that looks pretty solid in my opinion. No, how do we see pros lineups? I mean, just whenever you enter a contest, go through and look through the standings. And if you can't find certain players' lineups, you can search them. You can download the CSV, put it in Excel, and you can search for their lineups in Excel. Rose, Morris, Barrett, Giannis, Holmes, Murray, Hardaway, Adams, solid for now. That looks pretty solid, Brandon. That looks pretty good for now. Noah, hey, what's up, Skywalker? What's up, man? Appreciate you being here, brother. Quickly or Halliburton for my util. I mean, those guys are so, their price tags are so different. Halliburton's $6,600 and Quickly's $4,100. That doesn't make much sense. If I had to choose one, I'd play Quickly because I think Quickly probably scores more points. But when you factor in salary, give me Quickly because he's so much cheaper. Or I'd probably play Halliburton because he scores more points. I mean, it's dumb to ask those kind of questions when you have, should I play this 7K guy or should I play this 4K guy? Well, that doesn't, they're so differently priced. The price tags are so different. Can't ask those questions. You can see their lineups before tip. No. I mean, it's just like any other contest. You can once the contest starts and once they have players that are starting, you can see the players in their lineup who have started playing. So if when lock hits at 7 o'clock, if I know that I think Maxi Kleber's a good play, I check their lineup and they have Maxi Kleber, I feel like I'm on the right path, I guess, or whoever. That's always important. You should always be looking at, comparing your lineups, especially in cash games, in double ups. You should always be comparing your cash game lineup to another, like a pro player's cash game lineup. See if you're in the same ballpark, then you're probably doing good. Value play if Bertans is out. I mean, yeah, Denny Avia could be a value play if Bertans is out. I don't think we have that news yet. I don't know when we're going to get that news either. But yeah, if Bertans is out, I think Denny Avia probably gets at least 22, 24 minutes. So he could definitely be, someone you look to. We're still waiting on Bertans news. We're still waiting on Dylan Brooks. Still waiting on Jeff Green. But I think the rest were good. Porzingis is doubtful. Drew Holiday's doubtful. Curry's probable. Max Kleber's probable. Elfrid Payton's doubtful. So yeah, it's just Bertans, Dylan Brooks, and Jeff Green. Those are question marks right now. Thoughts on my pick: Murray, Rose, Augustine, Burks, Giannis, Embiid, Adams, Kleber, or need to go back to the drawing board? I mean, I don't really like Augustine or Burks on this slate, but the rest looks okay. I really don't know who you could swap to, though, over them. One player, $4,500, guard forward to finish a lineup. Let's see. I mean, it'd probably be Maxi Kleber for me. He is $4,200, so I'd probably take him at your forward spot. Murray, Rose, Avia, Randall, Hernan Gomez, Halliburton, Gibson, Jokic. I mean, I wouldn't play Hernan Gomez. I wouldn't play Gibson. I wouldn't play those guys on this slate. But the rest is solid. I wouldn't play Avia if Bertans is playing, but if Bertans is out, then yes, Avia is viable. Every time I play Halliburton, he plays like crap. When I don't, he goes off. Yeah, I feel you there. There's a couple guys like that for me. John Morant's one of them. I just can't get John Morant right. Whenever I play him, he always sucks, and then when I don't play him, that's when he puts up 45 to 50. I don't think I've gotten a good game from John Morant yet this season. Everyone has those, one or two, three guys that they just can't get right, and that's one for me is John Morant, 100%. You think Ingram is a good value? Yeah, I do like Brandon Ingram. I think I like him more on Yahoo, where you have to play at least one small forward, and the position's not that good. If you're not paying up for Ingram or Middleton or Kawhi, the only good options you have are you could look to Bruce Brown. You could play Tim Hardaway, but yeah, I think $32 on Yahoo. That Brandon Ingram looks pretty good over there. You like Jokic and Vooch in the same lineup? I mean, I think that's going to be super contrarian. I don't see a lot of people paying up for two centers tonight. So I mean, if you want to do that in tournaments, you can. I think both those guys, have plenty of upside. It's a great matchup for Jokic. It's a great matchup for Vooch. So, yeah, you could do it for sure. I haven't gotten a good game yet from Murray, so I feel you there. Maybe that's about to change. Hey, luckily I've been playing Murray recently, and it's been going well. Murray's been someone that's treated me pretty good this year. But John Morant is someone that has not treated me well. Every time I play him, he sucks. Thoughts on Zeke Nahi? I don't think I'm going to go to Zeke Nahi. Now that he came off the bench last game and his minutes were down, I'm pretty sure. Can't remember how many minutes he played off the bench. I don't think he played that much. Yeah, he played 24 minutes off the bench. I don't think we need to go there. His upside's already pretty minimal. And now that he's coming off the bench, I mean, he's not even going to play as many minutes. So that's a pass for Zeke Nahi, in my opinion. I'd rather just go to other guys. I'd rather take a shot on one of the Dallas centers and hope you pick the right one rather than play Zeke Nahi. What's up, Noah? I'm ready to get smacked with this info and make this Quan. Do you have a best value play? I mean, right now, we got to wait and see who starts for the Knicks at point guard. If Rose or Quickly starts, whichever one of the two starts between Rose and Quickly, I think is one of the better values. I still like Tim Hardaway and Josh Richardson now that Porzingis is doubtful. I think Maxi Kleber's in play with Porzingis doubtful. And if you want to take a shot on one of the Dallas centers, whichever one starts, you could look to. They're going to have to play, a big man out there. They can't go small against Embiid. So we could get 28 minutes from Willie Cauley-Stein. We could get 20 minutes from Boban. You could definitely take a shot on one of them. How about Tillman or Okeke? I mean, I wouldn't play either one of them. I don't see any reason. Tommy, please tell me why you would want to play Tillman or Okeke. Please let me know. How you doing, Noah? Let's get that money. Hey, let's get it, Patrick. Let's get it, man. Quickly and Rose together. So for me, it depends on who starts. If Quickly starts, I think obviously Quickly is a really good value, and I'd still be fine playing Rose if he comes off the bench. But if Quickly comes off the bench, I don't know what his minutes are going to look like, because Rose, I feel confident, still gets 22, 24 minutes because they've been playing Rose a good amount off the bench anyways. But Quickly, I don't know what his minutes look like if he comes off the bench. So if Quickly starts, yes, you can play him together. If Rose starts, I don't know if I'd play him together. I'd probably just go to Rose in that case. Which King do you like most? I mean, when you factor in salary, I think Rashawn Holmes is my favorite guy from the Kings. Especially if he's going to be getting 30 to 32 minutes. 5,700 is just too cheap for Rashawn Holmes because he's a point per minute player, and he should be 6,500, 6,600 when he's getting over 30 minutes. How you feel about Terrence Ross against Brooklyn? I'm probably not going to Terrence Ross. I think he's just overpriced at this point. I know he's had some good games recently, but there's other guys I'd rather get to in his price range. Once Fournier came back, that kind of lowered my interest in Terrence Ross, especially now that his price is way up. If he was a lot cheaper, I'd be interested, but with his price up, just not that interesting in my opinion. Holmes or Adams? Give me Rashawn Holmes. I think he just gives you more upside. You're trying to fit in stars? I mean, I feel you there, Tommy, but you don't need to be playing guys that aren't going to get many minutes. I mean, Tillman, I don't see any reason to play Tillman when, Brandon Clark, Joe Val are healthy. Tillman's just not going to get a ton of minutes. And Okeke, how many minutes has Okeke been playing? Because minutes are the key, man. I mean, in the end of the day, you need guys playing at least 25 minutes. Okeke's been getting low 20s, but his upside is just, it's really not that high. I don't think you really want to go to these guys on this slate or go to those guys. Best util under 5,600? Probably would be RJ Barrett or Steven Adams for me. Under 5,600. Those would probably be the two guys I'd look to. Quick opinion, if Rose starts, Murray, Rose, THJ, Greek, Adams, Bruce Brown, Kleber, and Joe Val. Yeah, I think that's solid if Rose, if Rose starts. I think Rose is still in play if he comes off the bench, but obviously, if he starts, I'm going to like him even more. Holmes or Bagley? Give me Rashawn Holmes. Bledsoe revenge game? I mean, yeah, it's a revenge game. He already played the Bucks once this season, so I don't know if it's really a revenge game anymore, but sure, you could do that. I'm fine with Bledsoe. He is super cheap. He's been pretty bad, but he is he's 4,800, so I definitely think he's in play at that price. My favorite DFS YouTuber, what's up, Noah? How you feel about Middleton tonight? I appreciate that, Marcus. Middleton, I think he's in play. Middleton's someone, he's another guy I haven't gotten right much this year. I've never gotten a big Middleton game. I played him a lot when he was sucking, at first when Drew Holiday was out, and then I got off of him, and of course that's when he puts up that big game against the Kings. I think for cheaper, I'd probably rather play Brandon Ingram over Middleton, I think, honestly. Middleton's viable, but I'd probably rather play Ingram, honestly. You think Holmes is going to pop off a little tonight? I mean, I do like Holmes. I think he's too cheap. I mean, you never know what players are going to do. I mean, nobody can predict what a player's going to do. I can't tell the future, but the opportunity's there for Richaun Holmes right now. His price is cheap. He projects well for his salary. He can do well. I mean, he could go out there and twist his ankle in the second minute of the game and be done for the night. So, I can't tell you if a guy's going to do well. But given his price tag, given that the minutes are trending up, Richaun Holmes is a good play in my opinion. Would you say, Mr. Noah, let's get it tonight, my man? Always thank you for your research and inputs. Hey, I appreciate that, Robert. I'm glad I could help, man. Glad I could help. Favorite small forward tonight, price included? I mean, it'd probably be like Brandon Ingram, or if you're going a little bit cheaper, Bruce Brown. Probably one of those two guys, or Tim Hardaway. Probably Brandon Ingram or Tim Hardaway, one of those two. It really comes down to your lineup. If you need to pay down, then go to Tim Hardaway. If you have the salary to pay up, you could play Brandon Ingram. You could play Middleton as well, but those are kind of the two I'm looking to. You like Justice Winslow for value, contrarian? I mean, I'm not really looking at Justice Winslow. I don't see any reason to play him when Memphis is pretty much fully healthy. I know Dylan Brooks could be out again, but yeah, I don't see any reason to go to Justice Winslow. I only play those bench guys when players are out. I don't see any reason to play those bench guys when the team's fully healthy. It just doesn't make any sense. You're just getting too cute at that point. Out of all the stud centers, who is your favorite? I mean, it's super close between Jokic, Vooch, and Embiid. I think Jokic is still my favorite, but all three are in play for sure. I think Jokic is my favorite, though. Brooklyn has been a great team to target. Who's the third Magic guy to consider? I mean, I have interest in Vooch. I have interest in Fournier. Probably not going to go to anyone else on the Magic, though. I think Terrence Ross is probably too expensive for my liking. Michael Carter-Williams, I don't want to play. I don't want to play any other bench guys. So really it's just Vooch and Fournier for me on the Magic. Really not anything else. Fournier or Halliburton in Yahoo? I think I'd probably prefer Fournier. I know Halliburton's been super good lately, but I just don't know if I want to chase those games. Halliburton still has a pretty low floor. I mean, he could go out there and give you 20 points in 30 minutes, and I wouldn't be surprised. Thanks, brother. Good attention to detail in videos. Appreciate the input. I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you for being here, as always, man. Thank you for tuning in. Brunson, yeah, I like Brunson. I think Brunson, Hardaway, Josh Richardson, all three of those guys are in play. Now that Porzingis is doubtful. Brunson's been playing super well lately. I don't know if he continues to, produce like he has been. Normally, whenever he plays alongside Luka, he's not a great point per minute player, but he's been getting the minutes, and he's still somewhat cheap. So Brunson I'm fine with for sure. You think James Johnson's going to get starter minutes again? He's very cheap value. I mean, now that Maxi Kleber's back, I don't see any reason to play James Johnson. The only reason James Johnson got so many minutes last game was because Kleber was out. Wagner against Denver, or is it a pass? I mean, Wagner, last time they played Denver, he played 3 minutes and got benched the rest of the game, so it's super risky. I don't know what the Wizards are going to do with their big men, but I think Wagner, is super risky. Love the show. Thanks, Noah. Everyone smash the like and check out Noah's Patreon. I appreciate that, Chris. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, if you guys want to check out the Patreon content, as always, it's linked down below in the description. I have a lot of additional stuff I post there every day. What's your favorite brand of yogurt? I love Greek God's yogurt. I really don't eat yogurt. My girlfriend loves it, but I'm not a yogurt guy. You like this lineup? Rose, DiVincenzo, MPJ, Randall, Holmes, Murray, not Winslow, and Morant. I mean, that's solid, I guess. I mean, Morant, God. I'm not playing Morant tonight, so he's probably going to go off. So you guys probably should play Morant since I'm not playing him because I just can't get the dude right this year. What's up, Noah? Just saying what's up at work on a 15-minute break. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, Michael. Appreciate you tuning in on your work break. Appreciate that, man. You always have great insight, bro. I appreciate that, Ross. Thank you, man. I try my best. More of a priority in cash, Murray or Jokic? I think in cash, I'm probably going to be going to Richaun Holmes or Steven Adams at center. So I think it makes sense to go to Murray there. I'm totally fine playing Murray in cash, especially on Yahoo. He's still super cheap over there. Draftkings at 8,400. Does Murray project as an optimal play? Maybe not, but I'm still fine playing him in cash at that price. Even at that price, I should say. Roll out Richardson against Philly, revenge game. I mean, yeah, it is a revenge game there. It's first time playing Philly, too, since he got traded, or since he left to the Mavs. I think. I'm not sure. How about Rose, DiVincenzo, MPJ, Randall, Holmes, Murray, Hardaway, Lonzo? That looks better. I like that. That's solid. Desmond Bane or Campazzo? I mean, I'm not a big fan of either. I'd play Campazzo, though, if I had to choose one. Reggie Jackson, a good play. I'm not looking to Reggie Jackson on this slate. Too many other guys I'd rather go to. Whenever the Clippers are fully healthy, when Kawhi and PG and Patrick Beverly and Lou Will are all playing, I don't see any reason to play Reggie Jackson. Unless he's just super, super cheap. I don't see any reason to play him. I'm fading Harden and Greek. I mean, yeah, you can fade those guys for sure because there's plenty of other studs to pay up for. This is definitely a slate where all the studs look really good. Giannis, Harden, Luka, Jokic, and Embiid. I mean, there's just so many guys. Vooch. So many studs worth paying up for. When you think about MPJ's ceiling versus bad Washington defense, better for cash or tourneys, I think at MPJ's price, he's probably not someone I'd go to in cash. If he was like $5K, he'd totally be a cash game play. In tournaments, though, or in cash games, I mean, I don't think he projects well for a $6K salary. So he'd probably just be a tournament play. His floor is still super low, but we know MPJ has that ceiling, and he can pop off. And against Washington, I mean, if there was ever a spot for MPJ to finally put up like a 40-point game, it would probably be here. Trying to find value at power forward, Okeke is a good choice. I mean, I'm not playing Okeke. You guys can. I'm not playing him. I'd rather play Maxi Kleber over Okeke. I think Max Kleber just plays more minutes. He might not be as productive, but he's going to get way more minutes, and minutes are what I look for. What's your top 3 or 4 values today? Got in late. Sorry if you already went over this. I mean, we discussed a few guys. I think Dallas looks good for value again. Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway, Jalen Brunson, Maxi Kleber. I'm interested in those guys for value. Whichever one of Derrick Rose or Emmanuel Quickly starts at point guard for the Knicks, I think it's a really good value play. And then, if you want to take a shot on one of the big men from Dallas, I don't know what they're going to do with the minutes. Last game, they threw, Willie Cauley-Stein got 26 minutes. Powell played 11. Boban played 10 or 11. Against Embiid, they're going to have to throw a big man out there. I think if you guess correctly, whichever of those 3 guys gets the most minutes, I think they're going to do well for their salary. But, good luck picking which one it's going to be. I can see Kleber getting in foul trouble early against Embiid, making James Johnson viable at 3,200. I mean, if you want to play a guy and hope someone gets in foul trouble, go ahead. But I think that's not something you should be doing. I never play a bench player hoping that the starter gets in foul trouble. That's just 9 times out of 10, that's not going to work. And Kleber's not even going to be guarding Jokic. Or Embiid. It's going to be Dwight Powell or Boban or whoever. It's going to be the center. I mean, Kleber is a power forward. He can play center, but he's a power forward. Can you explain why you like MPJ in cash versus tourneys? I'm trying to learn the strategy. In cash, do you just want steady guys that are locks to hit the minimum without necessarily a super high ceiling? I mean, not necessarily. You just want guys that project well for their salary. Projections are super important at this day and age in DFS. I mean, I don't even have access to projections, but I can, in my head, I can kind of project what players, what their median outcome is. So, whichever one of Derrick Rose or Emmanuel Quickly starts at point guard, you have to expect them to play at least 25, 26 minutes. They're both point per minute players. They would both project very well for their salary, whichever one gets the start. They'd be a great cash game play. It's all about, salary is just what it's all about. If MPJ was 4K today, he'd be the best play on the slate, but he's 6K. And when he's 6K, you need 36, close to 40 fantasy points from him to be a good play. Sure, he could get there, but does he project for that? Probably not. Does he even project close to that? Probably not. So you're probably not playing him in cash games. In cash games, you're just trying to play the best projected lineup you can. The lineup that just makes the most sense. You don't care about who's popular. You just want to play the best possible lineup. People say in cash games you need to be playing guys that are steady, but that's not true at all. I mean, Boban's not steady, but if Boban starts tonight, he's the best cash play on the slate. You're locking him in cash games. You know what I'm saying? I lay swap Kaminsky, and last night, what happened to him? I mean, Kaminsky, like, his minutes have just been super low. I know he's been starting, but Kaminsky's, like, I don't even think he's DFS relevant at this point. I don't even know why they're still starting him. You would think they're probably going to move him back to the bench and just put Crowder back in there, or Cameron Johnson. I really don't know why Kaminsky's still starting. Would you play Rose if he doesn't start? Yeah, I think Rose is still viable if he doesn't start. He's still been getting good minutes off the bench, so I feel confident that Rose still plays like 22 to 24 minutes if he comes off the bench. If he starts, I think he gets like 26 to 28 minutes. Whereas if Quickly comes off the bench, he could play 15 minutes, but if he starts, I feel confident that he gets at least like 24, 25. So I'm probably going to only go to Quickly if he's starting, but Rose, totally fine going, whether he starts or comes off the bench, doesn't matter. Top studs at pay up 4 star. If you just went over this, it just came in. I mean, right now, I like Giannis. He's my favorite stud. Second favorite stud is going to be between, not Embiid, but it's going to be between Luka or Harden. I think I'm leaning Harden, so like Giannis, Harden, Luka. Those are my guys. Giannis number 1, though. Giannis is the guy I like most. Zeke Nahi tonight. I'm not on Zeke Nahi. He went back to the bench last game. His minutes went down. He's already not that productive of a player, playing alongside Jokic and all those guys. So you need him to get a ton of minutes, and now that he's coming off the bench, I mean, these minutes are going to be even less, so it makes no sense to play Zeke Nahi. Jason Tatum killed me last game. I feel you there, man. I played Tatum on DK, so I feel you there. He was god-awful. I mean, Tatum probably won't have that bad of a game rest of the season. Thoughts on Seth Curry? I mean, whenever Dallas is fully healthy, or not Dallas, but whenever Philly's fully healthy, when Embiid, Harris, Simmons, they're all playing, I really don't play Seth Curry. You can play him, but I'm not playing him. I don't really play Seth Curry when the team's fully healthy. You like Bagley over Holmes on DK since they're the same price and more ownership towards Holmes so far? I mean, yeah, you could do that. Like Bagley, I'm worried about Bagley now that Holmes is back, now that Barnes is back. Like, I just don't know how many minutes Bagley plays. We saw earlier in the season, Bagley had times where he would legit just play like 20 minutes. So I prefer Holmes. I don't care if Holmes is going to be more popular. I think Holmes just is the better play, has more upside. He's the guy I'd rather go to. Gibson in play, I don't see any reason to play Taj Gibson. I mean, Nerlens Noel's expect to play. Obviously, if Nerlens Noel were to be out, then yeah, Taj Gibson would be a really good play, but I don't see any reason to play Taj Gibson. He's going to get probably 18, maybe 20 minutes. Sure, he could get 20 points in 20 minutes, but you need more than that. For a guy to be a good tournament play at 3K, you need like 25 to 30. Favorite util 6,800 and under? For me, it would probably be, it'd probably be Evan Fournier, 6,800. I'd probably take him there. Out of all the 6K guys, he probably is my favorite. Him or Lonzo. He wants Curry for the revenge. I mean, yeah, if you want to play Curry in the quote-unquote revenge game, go ahead. I think people look at those narratives way too much, man. I like the narratives. I think they can make DFS fun, but there's people who legit say, oh, he's playing, his former team. Seth Curry's playing the Mavs. We got to play him tonight. Like, no, who cares? It's Seth Curry. It's different when it's like a stud, a star player, like a John Wall versus the Wizards. That's actually a narrative you should, look at. Because John Wall, him and the Wizards got bad blood. Seth Curry, like, who cares? It's Seth Curry. They're not going to go into the game tonight and say, hey, guys, Seth Curry's playing the Mavs tonight, his former team. Let's make sure to get him some extra shots. DiVincenzo, best top 5K play? I mean, I think there's so many other guys I'd rather play over DiVincenzo. Give me the Dallas guys. Give me Tim Hardaway, Josh Richardson. Like, give me those guys. Give me Monte Morris over DiVincenzo. Give me Eric Bledsoe over DiVincenzo. All right, guys, we're getting close to 5 o'clock Eastern, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. We got a lot of stupid questions coming in towards the end of the stream, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up the stream before I get tilted at you guys for answering these dumbass questions, or for asking these dumbass questions. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate the support as always. If I hurt your feelings, if I said something about your question, don't take it personally, all right? Just here to have fun, man. Good luck, fellas. We'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate you watching, all right? Good luck, boys. Good luck.